Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Uncalled For. We have another great show planned for you tonight. We've got the continuation of our Incels and Red Pill dating advice show come today. So I think we're going to have a great time with this. We're going to go over some of the stuff that we didn't get to cover last week. And we just find so much stuff on the internet sometimes that you start on a topic and then you realize there's just so much to it. So
Yeah.
it is just so much stuff out there about this. So I'm going to get right around the room and get started and see who we have with us tonight. Starting out with Claire S. Bear, my partner in crime. Claire,
I'm
how
a
are
criminal.
you?
Yeah, apparently a criminal. Yeah.
That's right.
But happy to be here about it, actually,
Good.
because
Good.
this stuff is crazy, and it's nice to be able to talk about it in a sensible way, somewhat.
Absolutely.
As much as I can.
Absolutely. We've been talking about it too, and it's because it's just so crazy. I mean, there's just so much of this stuff out there, and the things that they say are just so off the wall that it's just
It's
crazy.
like whatever happened to common sense. Like I've been saying that a lot about a lot of things lately, but like where to go? Somebody.
Me too. I've been saying the same thing too. Where did it go? It's gone. Thank you so much. And next up, we have Gary Isle of Wight with us tonight. Gary, how are you this evening?
Hey, Aimee. Hey, everyone. No, I'm very good, thank you. It's cooling down a bit here now.
Excellent.
So we've got thunderstorms on the way, so thank goodness for that. But we're going to stay in the background because it's up to you guys tonight.
Oh, thank you so much. And we're going to need your insight too in a couple of the things that come up, I'm sure. So this will be really, really good. And so I think this is going to be a good show. We have a good mix and match tonight. So this is good. And last but not least, we have Dick Dawson. Dick, how are you tonight?
Good. Very good, actually. All set and ready. Perusing some of the choices we have for this evening is, well, we're going there. So, all right then. And yeah, it should be interesting. Lots of laughs, a little bit of information and whatnot as well. Yeah. How about yourself, Aimee? How's things?
Doing great. Thank you. I'm like I said, I'm really excited about doing this show tonight and getting this information out there. There are a lot of impressionable young men out there, and I really honestly think that these content creators, with the things they say and the advice they give out is just not really good at all. So I think it's best that we cover it at least show what's going on and maybe figure out a way eventually to help these guys so that they don't fall in this trap of this stuff that we're going to talk about, like the misogyny, the whole, it's just so hard to just, when I look at this stuff, I just become speechless sometimes because of the way they treat their fellow human beings. I mean, these
even their own men, right? Like we
Yes.
learned about Black Pill, like that was horrific. Like absolutely horrible with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it was absolutely awful. And I'm still in awe over last week just looking at that. And that was a week ago. I mean, it's just it's just absolutely crazy. So yeah. So what's our first video in queue tonight, Dick?
Well, we have one. We have one from Lise Leblanc. Tactics and Mind Games of the Female Covert Narcissist.
Oh.
Yeah, I found that in the pile and thought that might be an interesting counterbalance to start with before things get too out of hand.
Absolutely. Yes, please. If we can start with that, that'd be great.
All right.
Yeah, let me make sure. You need to carry on, Christ.
Yeah.
So let me make sure everything's set. Yeah, looks like we're good. All right, here we go. I don't know what you're in for, fellow babies. So here we go.
Covert narcissists, what type of mate she is seeking, how she lures you, gets you on the line, reels you in, and then anchors you so you'll never leave. These tactics work best with a specific type of person, and it's not the type of person you might be thinking. It's not someone who's easily manipulated or someone who is not intelligent. What a narcissist is attracted to has nothing to do with what most people think. If you are in a relationship with a narcissist, especially if you've been in more than one, then this information will help you recognize the traps and tactics that the female covert narcissist will use on you, and I will also explain the reasons you don't always run when you see these red flags. This information is not about blaming or shaming you. It's really about helping you identify what makes you more vulnerable to falling prey to the female covert narcissist and how to protect yourself from her.
Okay, 1 second here.
Okay.
Repo Sandman in the chat there says, no, she has a degree like mine. So I think we're getting like real info from this one and not anything stupid, as you can tell by that intro, right? So yeah, I was already on the wrong side of this. I had a feeling that we were gonna, get some foolish stuff, but this is all right. Okay.
No.
This will be a good insight, actually, I think.
It is,
Into
and we wouldn't deny
the other side of it. Yeah.
Exactly. We wouldn't deny that there are actually females out there that do this and use this against people.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So fair.
Cool.
Well,
All right.
that's it. And this will be good too, because a lot of the times when these red pill and black pill people see these things, this will be good insight into that as well. This is what they see. So they just make a blanket statement and say it's about all women. And this is where they get some of their info from.
Exactly.
This is a legitimate video where they have legitimate information about people who are like this, but it's just, so this is a good thing to see.
Yeah, I think I agree. Yeah, this is a good one.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Should I bring it back in, Aimee?
Yes, please.
Okay.
My videos on mental illness are for educational purposes only. So if you are looking to learn more about narcissistic personality disorder and other mental illnesses, as well as how to handle and protect yourself, then you're in the right place. But if you need support, please seek help. As much as NPD is a serious mental illness, it does not give that person the right to hurt you. You are not put on this earth to survive someone else's abusive behavior. So the first thing I want you to know, if you are in a relationship with a female covert narcissist, there is no happy ending. So I'm going to jump right in. And first, I want to address what she is looking for in a partner. I believe there are only two types that she's interested in. One, another narcissist, which happens through a process of assortative mating, which is the subject of another video on narcissistic couples. But the second type of person they're attracted to has key characteristics. And I'm going to use the acronym PHIL, P-H-I-L, to describe this type of person that is so appealing to the female covert narcissist. And I will tell you why not only do these types of people get hooked and reeled in, but they also get anchored so that they can never leave. The P in PHIL stands for protector. The female covert narcissist wants someone with a strong protective instinct, someone who is naturally motivated to protect the people that they love. The H stands for helper. This is someone who is inclined to help others and to be of service, even to be a hero. The I stands for integrity, and this is someone who does what they say they're going to do. It's a person who keeps their promises, and this is super important when it comes to anchoring you. L stands for being loving. The female covert narcissist wants someone who is going to love her wholeheartedly, someone who will give her attention, affection, praise, and make her feel special on demand. So here's how it all plays out. So the first phase in the process is where she lures you. The narcissist believes she's special, so she has no problem making you believe it too. And she will come across as the most energetic, fun, smart, and sexy woman you have ever met. She will immediately fire you up emotionally, and she'll fire up your sex drive. Part of the female covert narcissist's lure is almost always using sex as a weapon. She will bring out that passionate side in you and sexual excitement that you didn't even think existed in real life. She will sex bomb you. That's like love bombing, but in the bedroom. But the real key to the luring stage is showing you her vulnerable side and opening up to you in a way that she's never done before with anyone else. And she'll do this quickly. How you respond right here will determine whether you make the cut or whether she moves on to a more suitable fish. When you give her lots of empathy and compassion, she knows she can easily cast you into the hero role, making you feel like you are the only one in the whole wide world who can save her, protect her, and make her feel safe. You're the only one who understands her. You're the only one who can help. If you bite hard here, she knows that your protector, helper, hero instincts are high and that your need to be needed are strong enough to keep you enrolled in the long game. In this luring stage, she's also mapping you out emotionally to find out what are your insecurities? What are your deepest fears? What are those intimate secrets no one else knows about you? And in these deep conversations where you feel so connected, where she's opening up to you and you're opening up to her about things you've never talked to anyone else about before, well, this will be used against you later. She's asking a lot of questions about you because she's going to use the information to manipulate you. Now, as you will learn if you watch my video on myth.
I wanted to jump in with something there. I don't know if it's maybe implied or assumed, but I do believe that some of the actions, quite a few that she's attributing to the narcissistic person, are somewhat, they're not like manipulative to the point where the person sits down and plans it out and everything. This is just a learned behavior they become good at.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a progressive thing.
Yeah.
You dig deeper and deeper and deeper. You get that person in a comfort zone. She's very insightful.
She is, and she's speaking directly to the traits, that's the thing with narcissistic personality disorder. People will be surprised to learn that there's actually a very small percentage of people that present with narcissistic traits like this that are actually would be classified by the DSM as narcissistic personality, like maybe 5% out of all of them. I learned that from a forensic psychologist a few months back, and I was shocked because it's so prevalent. We see it so much, all of the traits, that they're talking about. But you have to have so many of them all combined. And the intent to ill is one of them, which I don't think she's speaking on. Like Dick said, it seems to be something they're not really aware of, but they're just doing. Right?
There's
when you're wrapped up in that person, of course, you don't see it. If you view it from the outside as a third person, you can possibly see it, but when you're within it, it's very, very difficult and easy to be sucked into.
Liam Wakefield in the chat says, hey, she gets to what we're talking about right now and later. And yes, it's not necessarily a conscious manipulation. I kind of think that would have been good to lay into the foundation of the intro of it, but I'm no pro, and she's obviously done this before. So
yeah.
Exactly. But this is a good thing too, and I think this is good because it can also show the other side as well. Not only is it, and we've said this before, it's all male and females can be narcissists equally. One, I think it's going to show where some of, and this is a legitimate video, and I'm going to repeat that again because it's a she's a legitimate person who's giving legitimate advice here. But some of these red pill people take this information and run with it. Also, some of the red pill guys that do this are also narcissists as well. You'll probably are sometimes narcissists as well. So you're going to see that as well. So this is good to see what's going on and what they're doing. And it's good information. It really is good. And I think it explains quite a few things for us that we've seen so far. So, yeah.
I like this lady. She's
I do too.
very, yeah. So, yeah, we should carry on with this one, Dick.
Yep.
Yes,
Alrighty,
please.
yeah. Got to say, that thing on the wall is pretty cool, too. But yeah, I'll bring her in.
Isn't
No.
it? Yeah, I have that. It's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
I love that. That's neat.
The little avatar joke, it kind of like Home Tree, right? But here, I'll bring her in.
It is. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mine's
Yeah.
Papa.
Oh,
It is.
why
I
didn't
like
she play? What happened? Come on, you can speak. There we
Myths
go.
about the female covert narcissist. Many of these tactics are subconscious. They are survival skills that she's learned. She's not planning out some evil personal attack on you, at least not usually. And now, the second phase of the process, now that you've taken the bait, before reeling you in, she needs you to bite even harder, to take the whole sinker. So like any good fisherman, she will give you some slack. When she feels you're on the hook, she'll pretend to pull away. In reality, she's waiting for you to come back. And when you do, she will reel you in. She usually does this in one of two ways. Either she creates a fake scenario to make it look like you've done something to hurt her deeply, or she simply pulls away, and when you ask why, she plays up her fears of being hurt. She talks about how she's been hurt in the past and how she's afraid you'll do the same. Again, she's playing on your helper instincts and your need to be needed. She's trying to elicit a response, and the response is a promise. She wants you to promise and profess that you are different. You would never do that to her, and she will pull out as many promises as possible from you because she already knows you're going to do everything in your power to keep those promises. Once those promises are made, that's hook, line, and sinker. But wait, there's more. Once she's reeled you in, she needs to anchor you so that you never leave. And she does this by playing on your integrity even more. Because you are someone who values your promises, she gets you to repeat those promises over and over under the pretense that she needs reassurance because she's so afraid, so vulnerable. And here's the caveat. She actually is incredibly sensitive and insecure. What she really needs here is for you to feel like you can never, ever break the promises and commitments you've made to her. Hence, the reason a smart, sensible person has such a hard time leaving this abusive relationship. And then she'll test you. She'll throw a few bombs in to make sure that you prove your integrity. And once you do, the real game of cat and mouse begins. In this case, if the game is still unclear to you, you are the mouse. You're the one being toyed with. Here is where the abusive push-pull cycle begins. That hot and cold, Jekyll and Hyde, or whatever you want to call it. It's that back and forth between pulling you in to meet her needs for attention and admiration, and then crushing you. And she'll crush you by highlighting your faults, your weaknesses, your insecurities, your fears, and you will be wondering where that sweet, sexy goddess went. Don't worry, she'll be back, only it will be for shorter and shorter periods. The real goal in this stage is to confuse you, to make you question your judgment, your worth, to make you lose your individuality and blend right in with her, to make you feel like you are lucky to have her. And to ensure that you keep her, you will constantly praise her and you'll never go against her. You'll stop holding your ground because the consequences of standing up for yourself are too intense and too damaging. So you'll start to shut down, to feel helpless, maybe even anxious, depressed, because she's eroding your sense of self, breaking you down. And if you start to pull away, she'll sense that right away and she'll give you a glimpse of what attracted you to her. She might even build you back up slightly, like a cat who pretends to let the mouse go just to pounce on it again as it's getting away. And on top of all this, she'll separate you from your friends and family. She'll be insanely jealous when you give any attention to anyone else, even if it's your kids. She'll threaten to leave, and she'll do anything to exert more and more control over you. You basically become her possession. That's responsible for keeping her happy, making her look good, taking care of all her needs, while you get, well, nothing. Abused. And because you're a good person, someone who wants to protect and keep your loved ones happy and safe, someone who wants to keep your promises, all these amazing qualities when in the right hands, but when in the hands of the female covert narcissist, these are really, really detrimental to you. So if you're staying because you made promises or because you still think you can help her or save her, then you're staying for the wrong reasons. If you're staying because you think it's love, it is not. And in my opinion, the only thing worse than being in an abusive relationship is being in it for one more day. And if you manage to break loose or get discarded, don't go back. There is no such thing as no strings attached with a narcissist. Cut as many ties as possible, and if you're unlucky enough to be in a co-parenting relationship with a narcissist, then you'll want to check out my video on co-parenting with a narcissist. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, or share so it can help others, and also because it lets YouTube know that it's a valuable video that they should recommend. And if you want to learn more about NPD, click.
All right.
Yeah.
That was excellent. Thank you very much. It was very good insight into that. And one thing I do want to highlight that I really like is the worst thing you can do is stay one more day. That's all I'll say on that subject. But yeah, it's it's the worst thing you can do. Makes it harder.
But it's also very difficult to tie the knot and cut it off.
True.
As well.
Yes.
The stay one more day thing. I mean, as I said in the side chat there, my last ex was a bit like that. I remember walking on eggshells around her. But yeah,
it's a matter of recognizing the pattern, like she said, of the bad time. You know, the more controlling issues becoming more and more, and then the thing you fell in love with, you know, the person you fell in love with, rather not the thing, but the image that they projected at first becoming less and less. And once you recognize that pattern, it's more like, how much are you going to, you know, what does that actually mean to you in relationship to where your life is right now?
Though.
Yeah,
it's very difficult though, Claire, when you're in that situation.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
You know, it needs a third person to view it from the outside to say, actually, this is wrong and that's wrong, and she's doing this or that to you. So it is very difficult. I found it very difficult.
There are key things your friends, your family, even co-workers will start saying to you to help you recognize. I've done a little bit more streams on this, and mostly it's things like, you're just not the same. You're a little sadder than usual. Where did your confidence go? You used to be the first one with an idea. Things like that, you know, in a regular scenario, you start hearing things like that about yourself, then you know something's going on. Somebody somewhere in your life is pulling that out of you, is making that less pronounced in you. Because the one thing a narcissist do is make you doubt yourself. They are the ultimate gaslighters.
Absolutely.
Whatever you know about yourself, they spend all that time trying to make it not so. But they don't want you confident and standing on your 2 feet and able to walk away, because that's their nightmare. No one walks away.
Well, this is something that they're very good at, is eroding your confidence as well. So you start questioning yourself.
And that's what I mean. You'll hear things from your family, your friends, and co-workers, you know, about the change in you. And then that lets you know that there's something else going on. At first you might doubt, like, what is it me? Why am I acting like that? But then you realize it's coming from somewhere else, why you're behaving that way. Yeah.
What happened to that hectic person I used to know? Where have you gone?
There's a great song from the 80s. She ain't pretty, she just looks that way. And that's kind of, you know, that's the nutshell. Damn good tune, though.
Yeah, it's true. People stay for all different reasons. Dick, you're right. Like, people stay for all different reasons, personal. Like, it might just be too hard to go away. The confidence may have been eroded to the point where you don't think there's anything else out there for you.
That's right.
That you ruined this relationship. It must be something you did. You know, like, why don't they want me like they used to? Why are they treating me bad? And they take advantage of that and make that.
You're going to have to compromise, but I'm not prepared to. I've had that as well. Yeah,
that's a no starter for me anymore. If there's no communication or compromise, like, there's no relationship. Period. And that goes across the board with everything. Like, that's it.
Absolutely. Same here. Same here. No, if there is no communication, if you can't talk, then it's a no-go. I mean, yeah, and yes, it's been hard for me too to learn how to communicate better and be more open. But You have to. You have, that's how you learn, and this is, that's how you learn and grow together, and you can't do that if there is no communication. And
Yeah.
how will you know what type of personality that person has until it's too late?
Mm-hmm. It is. It isn't that the one thing, like when they ask you that question, what's the one thing you would tell your younger self about life or about, relationships in general? That's it for me.
Right.
That's paramount. That's the key to everything. Like
Yes.
the key to getting along with all your friends, your coworkers, your family, getting ahead in business, personal relationships, sexual relationships, all of them. Those are the two keys. Those two keys. Those two C's.
Exactly. My mantra now is speak up.
Mm-hmm.
Just speak up and
Mm-hmm.
speak out. You've got to talk. If you have an issue, say something.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to say anything. Don't be afraid to. And if you are in a situation where you're being abused either physically or mentally or both,
Mm-hmm.
speak up and speak out. And I know it's so hard and it's so scary, but get some help and get it soon so that you don't have to suffer, because you don't have to.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, but should we send out the PJC salute to all the narcissists in the world?
Shut up, Meg.
Well, I have to agree with that one. It's not, and it's not just a narcissist like that. That's pretty direct, like how she explained how a narcissist treats a relationship, and that could
Exactly.
be a man or a woman. Maybe some of the things that she said that a woman would do, a man wouldn't do to that extent, with the loving part and the take care of me part and build you up thing. Although they do in a way, a narcissist, like with you're the good cook or you keep a great home. This and things like that. They can use it that way, but also histrionic borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder, where they map themselves to you, exactly what your likes are, what you think, and kind of mold themselves into the perfect person that you would be looking for, and then spend the rest of your relationship proving they're not that.
Right. Right.
They just like, here I am, the goddess of your dreams, and boom, nope. Let me just show you how it's not really like that. Just, wanting to win and just to entice you in there. But they don't really have a strong personality outward of their own,
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, so I understand why incels and alpha males might feel a little this way about a small population of womanhood or partnerdom,
Right.
because but hell, talk about basing everything on the minority. Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
It's
Because
intellectually lazy. It's
yeah.
just well, and that's what they're doing, and this is how they get their content. Well, see, these extremes, they're representative of the whole entire group, and it's intellectually lazy on their part, and it's intellectually lazy on the parts of the people who fall for their bullshit. Excuse my language.
Yeah, and yet blame you because you're not treating them like the individual, like understanding them for who they are instead of what they can give us, and or with this, that, or the other thing. Like that is kind of that's not a two-way street what they're talking about there. Like
Exactly.
yeah, they actually say the way they are with this, especially the alpha male, like because women only want cars, money, strength, and want me to provide the best DNA for future children, period. So they're just twisting all of these small things, and I'm not going to deny that there are women out there that are like that. They are. We see them every day, but they're not the majority.
Right. Well, that's it.
And if that's the one you're attracting, I'm going to ask you why. Like,
yes,
could that be like, and what are you looking for? Are you looking for the perfect body and somebody who just, do you want that kind of relationship where it's only what you can give me and what I can get you? Like, because it doesn't sound like there's a lot of communication and compromising going on there.
No, sounds 100% transactional, and that's really bad.
You ever find yourself scratching your head and wonder how many 7-hour conversations they've had, or if they've ever had a 7-hour conversation? Like,
Or do they talk? Yeah, do they get to talk as much every day like they should before? You know, I know.
exactly. You know?
Obviously not, because then you would be able to. You can pretty much feel people out at that point. You know, if you're talking that much, that's good. You know, keep it up. But but if you're finding out that they're not compatible or anything like that, you know, that would be the time to find out and and find out if they are this type of person that you're finding, that if they're narcissistic or if they have a personality disorder or if they're not who they say they are. You should pretty much have an idea a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, even chronic horrific flatulence can still be a deal breaker in a relationship, and you need to get through the friendship to the point where you've come across it, right?
I mean, if you've been talking for 7 hours, you may have been exposed to it long. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be 7 hours continuous either. It could be in a couple of days, but I'm sure it would have happened if it's chronic, like you said.
But that's treatable. At least the chronic flatulence is treatable. You know, you can get something for that. You know, if they're fluffing constantly, you'll at least know once.
Yeah.
Well, my ex-missus farted so loud in bed one night she woke herself up and blamed me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know, it's only natural. I don't know about the chronic part and problems like that. Like, of course, you would want to, you know, probably help them figure out what it is that they're eating that's making it so bad. But
I would think so. That's treatable.
Yeah, I think it's treatable. I don't think it's an automatic out. It might deter and delay. I'll give you that.
Yes, and it might be, you know, it might be something that appears under the Geneva Convention, even, or you know, just as an abuse. But who knows? You know, it's.
Listen, the dream of mine is to rewrite the Geneva Convention. Wouldn't that be a hoot? I mean, oh God.
It might be akin to mustard gas, but we don't know yet. So we'll wait and see. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Exactly, toxic fluff. That will add toxic fluff to the Geneva Convention. That'll be perfect. But that was a great video, and that was really good insight. You know, and I'm sure those insights that she gave us will come in very handy. So that'll be good. So should we go right on to the next video, please, Dick?
Yeah, sure. Let's see what we got here. I have Nuance Now's entire video selection page up.
That little, he's young. Oh, God,
yeah.
He's young. Oh, God, he's young.
Young and rude.
Yeah, I know. I almost feel bad tearing him up, but maybe we'll be doing him a favor. Yeah, he's young.
I have another one that'll sure to ruffle some feathers. It's got a couple of stars on each side of the word delusion, and then it says 8 reasons ugly women think this.
What? Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah. Ooh, this is going to be misogynistic, isn't it?
Oh,
it's okay. I'm sitting down. I can take it.
We can take it.
Go for it. We can do it. We can do it.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
On behalf of the male population, we apologize for this dickhead.
Thank
you. Oh, God. Okay, here we go.
Thank you.
Remember, don't shoot the messenger.
I'd rather a 10. And you don't understand. Well, I'm a 10. I go to school, I go to work, and I have a great personality. And
Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Nowadays, it seems that all women, regardless of their own attractiveness, is walking around thinking they're a perfect 10 out of 10. All forms of modesty and simple common sense have gone straight out the window. And it seems all women are walking around with a chip on their shoulder thinking they're God's gift to mankind. Well guys, in this video I'm going to be outlining the 8 reasons, yeah you heard that right, 8 reasons, for why the rate of attractiveness inflation is going through the roof, or in simple words, why every woman now thinks in 2021 she's a perfect 10. Number 1, and this should be by far the biggest reason, simping. Now, the thing with simping is that a lot of people mistake for it only going in one direction. They think it only goes from the bottom up. It's the low value men at the bottom who are bombarding the women at the top with endless amounts of free attention, validation, and God forbid, money by paying for things like OnlyFans. But in reality, all women across the board of attractiveness have an endless selection of simps to provide these things. Because what ends up happening is the simps start by throwing attention, money and validation at the most attractive women, but when they don't get anything in return, they have no choice but to move down to the next level, and then the next level, and the next and the next. So it's just this endless cycle of simps undercutting other simps.
Are you dumb or something?
Whoa.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah,
So-
I'm with the cat. Pass the shots.
Wow, yeah.
Wow.
So in his world, how it works is first you take the available women around you and you rank them from most beautiful to least beautiful, and then you work your way through the list top to bottom. That's what he thinks amounts to trying to find a girlfriend.
Yep. And apparently it is all of the men that he is actually disrespecting that are actually complimenting the women on things and encouraging them to have positive confidence in themselves that are part of the problem.
Exactly.
So, it looks like to me like he's just coming up with a failsafe on why he doesn't get a date.
Yeah.
Period.
Yes.
Because he's blaming both sides now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Everybody but
And
no.
we're only at point number 1.
Yeah.
God.
Can you imagine?
This is going to be torturistic.
Yeah,
This is going to be
Indeed.
dangerous,
yeah.
which is not good.
We could
Oh,
make
exactly. And before we and go on with the video and stuff, I just did want to give a shout out to everyone on the research team that's been the new research team that we have that's been helping us with the shows and everything. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of the hard work that you've given us. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
You've been amazing. Thank you.
Yep. They're doing a great job.
Absolutely.
It's going to really help too. Holy.
Oh gosh, it really is.
So I don't know this guy's name offhand, so why don't we call him Mr. Flatulence and
Sure.
The gas
Yeah.
wanker.
Mr. Bad Guy. Mr. Bad Guy.
Senor Bell End.
oh, how about butt foam?
Fine. What the fuck is that?
Oh, that's a little more graphic. Oh gosh. I wonder what number 2 is. I wonder if it's going to surprise us. I wonder if we're going to get surprised.
We've got 8 to get through, Claire. This is going to be terrible. Oh,
Okay,
God,
hold
I'm
on.
cringing.
I just want him to surprise me and not have it to be the usual rhetoric, Always here.
I think this cap might surprise you and just take it even further. But let's see. Here, I'll bring it in.
Boy. Okay.
Yeah. What happened? There we go.
And whoever undercuts and simps the most supposedly wins in the end. Yeah, that last bit's important. Supposedly. Because what happens next is all the low value women at the bottom who now have a fresh crate of simps to choose from have this backwards rationalization. Well, this is interesting. I'm getting all of this validation. Therefore, this must mean I am special. Therefore, I must also be highly attractive. So the final piece of the puzzle, and also why simping never works, is all of the women at the bottom who have been senselessly simped over have now had their egos inflated beyond return. And all that's been left is the guys at the bottom have now lost a ridiculous amount of their own time, energy, and resources, and all for nothing.
Whoa!
Now, the last point I'm going to make on
That
this
is
before I move on to the
so
next
fucked
reason
up.
is this is exactly why I have zero sympathy for simps. Because the only impact that simps have on the dating market is inflating women's egos, which in turn messes up the system and spoils it for anyone else who actually had a chance. Anyway, now moving on to point number 2 for why
dear.
women
Please
overestimate
pause.
their worth.
Like
Women
you have a
equating their
chance in the
hookup option.
first place. Good grief.
Oh, wow.
This guy is an utter piece of shit, and no simping. And all these women are so terrible. They're ugly. They're gross. How old is this guy? 5?
I love it when you
Apparently.
swear, Amy.
Yeah.
It means you're really pissed off.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is only number 2, and she's swearing. I can't wait till we get to number
I
8.
know.
But,
No.
you know,
Crikey.
his whole formula doesn't work because they like put all the women up to the top, and he's like, he's calling those guys simps over there. And I'll bet you those guys over there that were actually cultivating positive attitude towards these women, regardless of their looks or whatever, and like treating them equal, fair. Let's just use the word like maybe fair. Maybe they weren't saying they were the most gorgeous creatures on earth, but they were treating them decently. I bet you they've got dates. I bet you every one of those so-called simps, like what does that mean?
Right.
Simps are actually dating these women. Not this guy though.
Exactly.
He's all pissed off.
Clearly, this guy has never looked further than skin deep.
Oh,
clearly.
because he's
What a
literally
twat.
he's literally upset that they have actually given these women confidence to where they wouldn't look at an a-hole like that again ever. Is what his problem is that he actually has to be somewhat decent and respectful to get a date now, and his dating pool's getting smaller. You know,
Right.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, folks, but just judging by the man's voice, that guy has never been laid.
He
Not a
does sound,
chance.
He does sound
I mean-
virginal in many
No,
ways.
the closest he ever came to sexual intercourse was that summer he worked as a human fucking hole for everybody to shake it off into at a goddamn peep show.
Or he farted in front of a fan and it felt good. It's about it.
Probably the nearest he's got is Mar Baker's apple pie.
Oh, ouch. These visuals are killing me. You need to stop. You need to stop. You know, you say this, and I think in pictures, and it's really bad.
This guy has a really good hair dryer, but he shaves his head. You figure it out.
Oh, God. I think it's dick.
Dear Lord.
Oh,
Oh dear, oh dear.
oh, God.
Well,
Robsky has a good comment. His girlfriend is Palmella.
Palmella. I agree.
Thank you, Robsky. Yeah, great comments in the chat tonight. And thank you for the great support tonight, too, as well. Thank you. So, oh my goodness.
And that was only number 2.
Exactly. And this guy is whining and angry already about, you know, how they treated her nice and they got a date. And I treat her like she still has cooties and I can't figure out why I don't have one.
Right.
Oh my dear Lord. Well, there you go.
yeah.
Toodle on now, you know, it's like, go look in the mirror, please, and realize what you're saying. You know, they don't care about what they're saying. They don't care about other people. So
Holy.
right there.
Yeah, the only thing this guy cares about is a 2-for-1 sale on hand pump lube for when he's sitting at his computer.
You.
Oh, you almost got me with the coffee there.
Yeah, that's why I haven't touched my hot chocolate yet.
Yes.
I've never heard it called that before, but there we are.
Lord.
Oh, God.
So, should we bring butt foam back into play here and see what the next
Where the hell did that come from?
I don't know.
Yes, God, it's already 1 and 2 have been so great. Let's go 3, 4.
All right.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yes, please.
Here we go.
To their actual value. Now, because of the nature of the current dating market, just about every average woman, and in fact even some below average women, have access to regular intimacy and hookups from the guys at the top. Chad is shared between everyone. Now, what this means is the women in the middle end up thinking this: well, I can hook up easily with Chad. However, Chad doesn't want to commit. Therefore, all I need to do is just find one that will commit. So back to the dating market, all the average women end up wasting time chasing and trying to pin down the Chads, and they string along and friend zone all of the guys they're actually on the same level with, the ones who would have given an equal relationship. But instead, the women's attention is all focused on the top 10 to 15% of guys who they are able to hook up with, but not willing to give their commitment. Women, just because you can hook up with someone doesn't mean you're on their level, and certainly doesn't mean you can get commitment from them either. Moving on to point number 3, acceptance of unattractiveness.
Right.
And this does not apply to men.
And if I don't ever poop again, well, that's just going to be who I am.
Oh.
Oh my God. Oh dear Lord.
Crikey.
He is really quite angry, and you can hear it in his voice in this video. You can hear it. It's just, he really is pissed off. Because he's mad that women are supposedly dating up, I guess you could say, and going for those top guys, and then that leaves the guys at the bottom. Well, these are just for hookups. I mean, if you want a meaningful relationship, you got to look more than skin deep, don't you think? You got to get to know people, and getting to know people is, you know, everybody. You know, you start to get to know your community, you get to know people in groups or anything like that. Then you get to know what type of person they are, instead of that guy's just hot and that's the only reason I'm going out with them.
I got an idea on this. Go ahead, Gary.
I was just going to say, isn't this guy rating these women on their physical looks?
Yes.
And
Yes.
has he ever looked
That's
in the
it.
mirror? Where would he put himself on a scale of 1 to 10?
He's going to say that he's a 10,
Of course he is.
He's got,
In fact, he's going to go more than that, Aimee. He's going to turn it up to 11.
Are you kidding?
Yes, gonna
I
dial
bet
it
the
up.
look. I bet the way this guy looks, he's literally a panel van ownership away from being arrested just for driving by a school.
Ouch. Wow. We're only on 3.
oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
God.
He does seem to be projecting a bit much. Like,
I
he's-
think so.
I would say so, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so. I think he's projecting onto women what he's actually doing himself.
Well, yeah, he needs a trip into the bathroom with that big square thing, the reflection. You meet your doppelganger, dude. Like, have a conversation and get it
Look
over with.
at it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
this. Look in the mirror.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
it's just,
That's where the problem lies. Yeah, right there.
yeah.
To make a real point, though, he thinks this way because in his life, anytime people have started to get to know him, they go, "Oh, well, you suck." So he has to base it on first impressions only. Like, I hunt for what I'm looking for. Like, that's what it sounds like he's saying. You know?
It is, and yet he would be so appalled if people were
No.
treating and judging him this way. Like, the opposite.
Absolutely.
If those women turned around and just said, well, I'm sorry, you're just like, you just think you're more handsome than you are. You just think you're smarter than you are.
Right.
You got nothing for me. Well,
Exactly.
you're overreaching. Why are you talking to me, dude? Like,
Right.
it's like,
I just scrolled down and I couldn't have even made up this name for him. It's so perfect. You know what this channel's called? It's
What is
called it's called Wheat Waffles.
weak? Wait, weak like with a K or weak?
No, wheat as in like harvest and whatnot.
my God.
Wheat
Oh.
waffles.
I like mine better. Weak waffles is better.
Yes, that's much better.
Yeah,
That's
well,
much
yeah.
better.
No, wheat waffles, huh?
I'm sticking with butt foam.
I won't.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh, dear Lord. Yeah. Yeah.
The guy's
that's-
obviously never experienced blue waffles.
Right. Yeah, well, I think it would be just as pleasant as Dick's name that he picked out. This guy is probably just as pleasant. Well, and I've noticed too how he dehumanizes women, and he's dehumanizing a whole group so that he can go ahead and not feel guilty for bashing down all of these people. So that's something that he needs to look at himself. So Tony Lee Blair said arse gravy.
Arse gravy. Yeah, I saw that.
Streamlabs wants to die. What else do we have in the chat? So there we go. Dear Lord. Save us.
Jinx you, Weak Waffles is his middle name Blue. Jinx gets it.
Yes, right. Yeah, exactly. Or floppy waffle for
Absolutely.
sure. Like I can.
Arse biscuits with gravy, Robski.
In an act of premonition, his father wanted to name him Cum Sponge, but it didn't.
Yikes! And we're only on 3. We're not even.
And we haven't even heard them yet. We've only done 2.
You can make a whole show out of this guy, honestly.
I think so.
I think we are.
I think so. I think so.
All right, we're ready for 4. So who's ready for 4? I am. I'm buckled up. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
we
go
go.
right in, please.
Men.
Oh, God.
It's almost exclusively for women. And this is mostly the result of feminism. Now, this idea in the last 10 years has pretty much stepped in and said all women, irrespective of their own attractiveness, are all deserving of a perfect 10. This belief system has tried to force down society's throat that all women, of all shapes and sizes, are all attractive in their own unique way. It is seen as grossly inappropriate to highlight the flaws in a woman's beauty, even if said flaws pose a huge risk to their physical health and can greatly reduce their life expectancy. Therefore, they are instead celebrated. And I've talked about this in my previous videos. I'll say again, try typing the words plus size into Google. There will not be one man in sight. In fact, I could bet money that you'd be scrolling for longer than the length of this video in order to just find one single man. Moving on to point number 4.
Absolute
The media
bollocks.
promote...
What a prick.
Whoa.
Perfect.
Oh,
Perfect.
God help us.
oh,
Dear Lord.
Hmm.
This guy is a complete and utter prick.
Am I wrong in thinking there's a whole group of men out there who actually do like rounder, larger women?
Yes.
Well, according to him, you're wrong, but
Well, according to him, of course I am. Well, number 1, I'm a woman. And number 2, I had the nerve to say anything, and like it couldn't possibly be true. Well, oh my God.
oh dear.
I know.
If I can take this seriously just for a second, though, he's obviously gay and hates himself for it.
I don't. You know what? He's not even brave enough to admit that if he was, and I don't think.
Well,
I don't think he'd
no.
be, yeah.
But he speaks with such authority.
You know, but even on that,
They do.
that line, if he talked to any partner, if he was this way about anyone, whether he's gay or not, if it be a man or a woman, this way in how he's judging people on the way they look, the category they fit in, and assuming what they want from someone else automatically, this is just an entitled, arrogant asshole. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's the issue
come in
right
all
there.
genders. This one just happens to be a male.
Self-entitled, Claire.
Yeah.
Self-entitled. What a wanker.
Self-entitled, right? Yeah, the only thing he's entitled to is air, like the rest of us. But the rest, not so
Well,
much.
that's debatable.
Well,
Right. Reece might have something else to say about that. They're stealing, and he's stealing their oxygen, you know. So
I had the urge to yell out, when he said, like, you go to that page and you won't find a man in sight. I said, I hear you talking, and I still don't see one or hear one in sight. Like, what? But I digress.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my.
These people walk amongst us. It's unbelievable.
This is the most unsexy conversation he could possibly have. This is not manly whatsoever, as far as
This guy just doesn't get it. The majority of the population is not overly attractive, and yet the majority of the population find true happiness. I mean, you just lost the plot, you idiot.
And managed to get it on.
And that's a whole nother stream. What the hell is attractiveness? Seriously. Because what actually attracts us to each other may or may not have anything to do with what a person looks like.
Exactly.
Yep.
And no one, I don't care what this dipshit says, no one is perfect.
And
no
science is actually behind that one.
I mean, I've known some extremely sexy and attractive, bigger women. You know?
Because do the blind not get attracted? Do the deaf not form relationships? Like, come on. It's not.
There you go.
There's not one thing. there's much, much more to it. And anybody thinks that they
Oh,
can
far more.
compartmentalize it like this idiot just proves that actually mental faculty does have part of it.
Exactly.
Because I'm feeling
Wow.
very, very unsexy right now listening to him.
You'll be right, Claire. You'll be right. Don't worry.
Oh my
Hey.
god. Oh my god. This is like,
Oh my God.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
uh,
I thought I'd seen it all.
Well,
I know.
there's more to come.
There's
wait till
more
we
to
get
come.
to
We're only
5,
on
6,
point
God
4.
help
7,
us.
8. Yeah,
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my god. Help. Oh, I just thought of a terrible little limerick for that. Where's Mipet when I need him?
So let's bring it in. We have Butt Foam explaining delusion and how it applies
Is that his
to
name now?
people
Butt
that
foam.
won't fuck
Okay.
him. I don't know.
Oh God.
All
Butt
right.
foam needs to be a
Delusion.
hashtag, Dick.
Now, before I cover this point, because I'm about halfway through the video, now is a good time to press the like button and leave any thoughts you have in the comments below, as it helps the
Oh,
YouTube
no.
algorithm. Anyway, carrying on with the video. Media promoting delusion. Now, about 5 years ago, there was this film that came out called 50 Shades of Grey. And in fact, the book that it was based on was one of the highest grossing of the decade. And if you've not heard of this film or the book before, it's basically about this billionaire Chad who goes for and ends up in a relationship with some fairly average woman. A similar storyline happens in other movies and TV shows, such as the highly
my
acclaimed
God.
Sex and the City.
Dakota Fanning
This series,
is
too,
average?
showed women, despite being in their 30s and
Apparently
40s,
so.
still being able to pin down and get commitment from Chad.
Wait a minute. Last I heard, a woman who was adventuresome. First of all, wasn't she a virgin in this movie, if I remember right, when she met him? So aren't those like key factors of attractiveness for which these male alphas are saying they have to be nobody's ever been there before. you have to be adventuresome and want to try whatever the hell I say or whatever. Don't have a mind of your own. Let me mold you. This was and she's beautiful. It's Dakota Fanning. That
I know.
has someone dropped him on his head? Seriously.
Yes, they must have smacked him about quite a few times. My gracious, she's beautiful.
And yeah,
I've seen her in other movies, and she's gorgeous.
yes. And don't be afraid, Gary or Dick. Like you could speak. Like, come on, it's Dakota Fanning. He's got to be crazy, right?
Oh,
Like, come on.
clearly he fell down the stairs to the CN
he
fucking
did.
tower, but he still fell down the stairs.
Even the character that she played is supposed to be like actually who he's talking about would be his perfect partner, and he's like dissing her. I don't get it. Oh my god.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a
know.
really good point.
She's virginal. She has no experience, and she's taking the lead from a more powerful man, and she is willing to try and express herself. And she's supposed to be a college graduate too, so she's smart and
Mhm.
yet willing to be feminine. Wasn't she like
Every time
overtly feminine also in the beginning? So
Yes.
like his perfect moldable woman, if she existed, was Dakota Fanning in this movie, and he just like trashed her. So
Absolutely.
what?
And
every time you say virginal or whatever, I keep seeing him in that van.
just keep reminding me there's no one in there with him, and I'll be okay. But yeah.
I love it.
Me, because of all those other series I do. Every time you say piano van and somebody like that, I'm
Mm.
thinking serial killer. Like,
Yes.
I'm getting nervous.
I'm guessing he wears a rubber all the time, just in case.
It should be required. It should be the law. We don't want any more of those out there. Like, no, it should be.
The Elmix comment is brilliant in the chat. I heard Dell is starring in the upcoming 50 Shades of Rage. This is Dell.
No,
Thank you so much. The Elmix is brilliant. Yeah, no.
no.
Oh my goodness.
Uh,
Oh my goodness.
Well-
Blacked out windows. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Serial
exactly.
killer.
Yeah,
Mhm.
little bubble lights at the back, or the windows.
Serial killer? Yeah, if you tell me
Exactly.
there's rope and a pillowcase in there, like on duct tape, like I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I know. Holy cow. Yes. It puts the lotion in the basket. Remember that?
Oh,
God!
wow.
Oh God! I covered that. Oh my God!
Hey.
The true serial killer that inspired that is actually the inspiration between several of those movies. It's Ed Gein, and it's also Psycho and a whole bunch of other. Oh, Chainsaw Massacre. Like, yeah, he was the inspiration behind several of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the one movie that's the funniest thing, that the original, no less. The
No,
one movie
Aimee,
that creeped me out was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The guy really did make a skin suit. Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
he had appendages on ropes and wore them as belts and earrings, and they were all over. Oh my god! Oh, never mind. I'll send you the video. Okay, I digress. Never mind.
Exactly. I'll get creepy. I'll
Isn't
creep
it a
myself
shame
out before
that
tonight.
actually made me feel better than this guy?
Yes. Watching a movie, a plausible horror movie, is far more, than this
I'd
guy.
rather talk
Claire's
about
broken
Ed-
herself.
I'd rather talk about Ed Gein and his skin suit than this guy, but no, I'll do it.
Exactly.
I bet you Ed
More
Gein got
dirt
more
dick.
dates too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably did.
Yeah, he did.
Let's see if Jessica can bring this in for us. I don't know if I can push play anymore.
Piss off. Do it yourself. I'm not watching any more of this rubbish.
Well,
I guess you better do it then, Dick. We need to continue on. It's jerk.
shit.
Oh god.
All right, I'll try.
Oh,
Here we
okay,
go.
All right, we're ready.
Cads.
Yeah,
So the point I'm trying to make here is that the media is portraying the idea that any woman, irrespective of what she brings to the table, can get a relationship from a Chad, no matter how old or average. Now moving on to point number 5, ego. Now, I didn't know just how big of a reason this was until I came across this scientific study titled Resisting Connection Following Social Exclusion. Now, this study attempted to see how a woman would react when first being approached by an attractive man, and then afterwards being approached by a less attractive man. The results were as followed. When the attractive man accepted the woman was also very likely to accept the less attractive man. In fact, he was accepted an average of 80%. Now, this isn't surprising, because after she gets accepted by the attractive man, she's probably feeling quite good about herself, and she's got nothing to lose by accepting the less attractive man, so she also gives him a pass. However, for the second part of the study, when the woman gets first rejected by the attractive man, they found she was then much less likely to accept the less attractive man's advances. In fact, his acceptance rate dropped from 80% to a staggering 24%. That's nearly a 4 times drop. And the reason for this is because after the first rejection, she probably felt violated and had taken a huge blow to her self-esteem. So to recover and attempt to regain some of her self-worth, she lashes out on the less attractive guy by rejecting him. Now, I found this study very interesting because it shares such close parallels to the current dynamics of the dating market. Because think about online dating, and for those who don't know how...
Wow.
What's wrong with you?
Strong mentality anyway. Oh, wow, way to turn it. Like, it's
Wow.
actually everything he's saying is true, but isn't that human nature? If you get, whether it was the lesser attractive man or the attractive man that would have turned her down, the outcome would have been the same.
I think that's the real point. Yes.
That's the real point. That say he reversed it, and the less attractive man. I don't even want to call him less attractive because really, whose standard?
How subjective is that?
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Right,
Like,
exactly.
whose standard am I using here? I definitely don't want to use his, but that's the one he gave me. So if I take the person on the bottom and say that he is the one that was the first one to, for whatever reason, turn down her advances or not be interested or whatever, she would suffer the same amount of confidence deflation as if it was the man on the top. And if the man at the top right
Exactly.
after that came and approached her, she would still have the same possibly not good reaction about it and feel like not like putting forward because she would be afraid of the rejection again. That's just human nature.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to
is.
do with bank accounts and beards and good hair or teeth or any of that crap. It just
No.
has to do with your personal feelings about nobody likes rejection. Like,
Who does? I mean, and that's both sexes. This is a human nature thing. This
Yeah,
isn't just
it's going
women
to knock your
or-
confidence, isn't it? It doesn't matter.
Exactly. It
You-
doesn't matter at all. It's
Oh.
it's just
Yeah.
human nature. It's just normal.
So now it's really pissed me off because not only is he like one of those, not even an incel, but I think he thinks he's an a alpha trying to educate us, but I mean he's missing the mark. But let's just call him one of those middle grader, no sex, whatevers. Like I don't even know the category to put this guy in, actually, because he's trying to educate us on how not to be an incel and how the A alphas are getting them all. But who is he actually in this picture? I have no idea. What I do know is that he is totally pissing me off because not only is he in those categories, he is also a bearer of twisted narrative and bad and misinformation, and he is actually causing damage to the masses. So I'm sorry, gentlemen and women that have to listen to this.
Right.
But
you have to cut him some slack though, there, Claire. The guy has clearly never been laid, so.
Wait a minute.
He has he's got a distorted view on it.
No, I refuse to, because I know many people that have chosen to be celibate for their whole lives, and they
I say that tongue in cheek, of course.
They're intelligent. They can actually put sentences together that make sense, and actually are not abusers of facts. They will actually give you the truth and honesty and real information. So no, I don't think. I think it'd only get worse if he got laid, to tell you the truth, because I'll bet you the day he gets laid, he changes his whole attitude and he won't even know what the hell he's talking about anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a good point that you had brought up earlier about the misinformation.
Yeah, that's damaging.
It is very damaging. And it's funny because, and we were talking about this earlier too, about how these incels, this is the last thing that YouTube allows on their platform are incels and the bashing of women and all of this stuff right here. And they're spreading massive misinformation, which is actually quite dangerous too. And so this is why we cover this stuff, because it is misinformation, and this is what we need. We need to make sure that we call them out on it.
And that's the unfortunate part, Aimee, because when we do, and listen, pull out the violins. Yeah, I'm gonna whinge a little bit here. Okay, so get ready. Because when we do, when women like myself, Aimee, or anyone do speak out about it, all of a sudden we are, and forgive the language, but we are hard ass cold bitches. Or we're just too smart for our own good, or who the hell do we think we are? It's like, okay, hey, raising my hand, how about effing equal? Feckin' equal. How about that? Why don't we start from there and then come at me? Right. But they can't, but they know it's like we're trying to put them down. And no, we're not. I'm trying to just be on the same playing field. What's wrong with that? Seriously. If you can't handle anybody on the same playing field, that's going to be your dating issue, because that dating play field is equal, whether you want to believe it or not.
Absolutely.
This cat's got a lot of issues to work on before he gets to dating.
Yeah, well,
right. Exactly. And there is a comment. Yeah. Hi, PJC Net. He says, it's an opinion that I don't tend to agree with, but I will stand for his right to say it. Yes, he does have a right to say it. But we also have to sometimes weigh this stuff against what they're saying. Is it dangerous? Is it,
are we words, consequence? You have the right.
There are consequences to what you say. The freedom of speech is not a freedom from consequences. That's going to be a whole nother show at some point in time. We may have to, because my goodness. And that's what the dangerous thing is too, that everybody, well, I have the freedom of speech. Yes, you do. But I also have freedom of speech too. And I can go ahead and tell you that, well, you have the right to say, well, all women are this, that, and the other thing, and I'm going to spew all my poop. But then again, when I come along and I come to debunk this stuff, I also have the right to tell him he's full of shit. So there, it's
exactly.
And give him the consequences of what he's saying, because you don't get to go through life free of saying, well, take for example, go into a neighborhood, a certain neighborhood, and say a certain word, and tell me how well you come out of there. If you come out of there unscathed, you're damn lucky.
Yep.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. There are consequences to your actions and your words, and deal with it.
Yep.
And if you're spreading
In
this
the
information,
dark of night, when the wolves and trolls circle the flock of unsuspecting globe defenders, there is only one sheep to call.
There we go.
Aimee the Destroyer.
I love it. I love that lamb.
Isn't she cute? She looks so mad.
She's just that stare though. She's cute, but she's like scary in a way. She got that stare. She's looking at you like, I wouldn't try it. I wouldn't go there. Don't push her.
That's right.
I had that ready for when you were done, and then I accidentally hit the trigger when I was trying to do another button.
Right.
It's okay, Dick. We never get enough Aimee Lamb. It's cute.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Renee and me said a really good one. With freedom of speech comes responsibility for what you choose to say. That is perfect. Thank you, Renee and me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because as much as he's allowed to say it, we're allowed to like say something about what he's saying too.
Exactly. And dude, you're full of shit. You need more fiber in your diet so you can get that shit out.
Get a little more solid there. Oh my god. Okay.
Well,
what number are we at? Like, are we gonna make it?
we're still in the middle of one. Yeah.
Oh god.
We're at 4.5 right now.
4.5, huh?
Yeah.
Should we let butt foam continue?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
All right.
What could be better?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't wait.
How the Tinder algorithm
Absolutely.
works, the most popular profiles are shown first. So these are shown at the top of the card stack, and are the first profiles a woman will see after logging on. Meanwhile, the less attractive profiles are shown last. Therefore, if an average or below average woman gets mostly negative responses from the popular profiles, the attractive ones, then the study shows the woman getting butthurt from this will result in her lashing out on the lower ranked profiles. And she will do this in order to rebuild some of her self-respect. Point number 6, a woman and her blue-pilled friends inflating her ego. Now, the two screenshots showed on either side of the screen are typical of the comments a woman will expect to see on her Instagram profile. So, of course, we have a couple simps giving her free validation, and I have checked their profiles and they are actually guys. But what's arguably more concerning is her and all of her female friends blowing smoke up one another. In my experience, I see these types of comments vastly outnumbering the ones sent from simps. Here's where you'll see the comments like, my queen, you're gorgeous, stunner, you go girl. And the dumbest part about all of this isn't the comments themselves. Rather, it's the people that are sending and receiving them. Women will believe anything their friends tell them these days. So if 20 of a girl's female friends are sending these copy and paste comments on every post she uploads, even if the girl herself is average to below average in looks, she's still going to walk away patting herself on the back, thinking she's a lot more attractive than she actually is. Thinking she's a perfect 10. Point number...
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Oh.
Wow. That's just so lifting someone up and being nice to someone is now simping.
Yeah.
I need to go and lay down.
I know. I am confused by blue-pilled friends. Like, I don't know what the hell are you talking about.
We got to give this guy a grubby dance.
Does he mean the blue-pilled friends? Does he mean the men that actually agree with women to the point of equality and all, and treat them respectful and all, that they say are only in it to get sex? Like, is that who they're talking about? Like, I don't understand his blue pill part.
It's the people who are just being nice to them and saying that they look great and to keep going and you know, you look awesome, you know, uplifting their friends. Those are blue pill people because you're just supposed to be a dink to everybody.
Wow.
Because that works.
Yeah, so that's the red pill. You gotta be a complete arsehole. You gotta you gotta treat women like shit. They're beneath you. They're just there to serve you, and that's that. So yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, loving it.
Yeah.
I know. Gotta love these people who just think being shitheads is the in thing to do.
What do we got here? We're on entitlement. This should be interesting.
Ooh, yes.
Should we let's see here. Jessica, do you want to bring it in?
Just fuck off and leave me out of it. I seriously can't take this shit.
Oh my god, I love her attitude.
Yeah, I love her attitude. I know, but we can't let him win. We need to finish. We need to finish him off. Like
we need to see this to the end.
I will refuse to let him be the best of us. Yeah.
Here we go.
Number 7, entitlements. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was watching a Darius M video, who's actually one of my favourite channels. And I remember him saying there are a lot more overweight women than men. And after that video, I looked it up and it's true. This is data from the NHS website in the UK, my country. And for 16 to 24-year-olds, there are 2 times more obese women than men. 20% versus 10%. And it's a similar pattern for the 25 to 34-year-old age range. And I remember Darius saying the main reason for this is because women don't get in shape because they have no need to. The truth is, men know that if they're obese, no woman is going to want to be with them.
What a prick. Prick.
Wow.
I could.
Yes.
Every time you think, okay, well, at least we've heard the worst he's going to say. Boom.
Yes, and Randolph Richardson has a great comment in the chat. Sorry to interrupt, but he really does. Ever since the MGTOWs ever since the Incels got invaded by the MGTOWs, they've been singing Dr. Jordan Peterson's tunes.
Oh, yeah.
And he's right. And it says, do you know who the king of the MGTOW Incels is? Dr. Jordan Peterson. He's their leader.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Interesting.
Thank you so much, Randolph. Yes.
And
He's on that.
That's a song that's definitely flat and not well received.
Exactly.
Attitude. Yeah. I get yeah. Well, so women are more obese than men because they don't have to try right now because so basically now he's pissed that she likes ice cream better than you. Okay. Yeah. All right. You're really giving her something to go for there. I'll tell you that with this attitude.
Good grief.
Who could blame her? Because right now Sunday looks really good rather than listening to him.
Oh, no kidding. Some chocolate chip cookie dough would be brilliant right about now.
Like, how insulting is that these women, like, they're all obese because they're not trying. Like, okay. I do get there's health hazards. People come in all sizes and for all different reasons. I can't even think of any more narrow-minded a way for him to express himself than the way he seems to speak in absolutes, as if large generalizations, like the way an uneducated, unlearned person of the world might, like a high schooler.
Yeah.
Like, how old is this one? Does anybody know? Like, I'm
12, 13.
12, 13? Yeah. It was, I mean, yeah.
He speaks as somebody who
40.
Yeah, well, he speaks as somebody who spends their day watching online porn because all he sees is hot, thin girls, and he thinks, well, that's okay. That's what hotness is. Dude, not everybody wants to grab onto the actual ribs of the rib cage when they're rolling around in the hay. There's somebody for everybody out there. You are just a fucking mess in your own head, and you really need help.
Yeah, as I said earlier, Dick, he speaks with such authority on the subject. It's incredible.
Yeah. If he spent just a little more time on actually cultivating wanting to be in a relationship or meeting somebody, then coming up with all these excuses as to why he is unsuccessful out
That's
here
the big one.
in the dating world, he might have a chance, but not like this. Like, if he thinks getting known for this crap is actually going to help the situation that he's
bitching and moaning and whining.
Yeah, exactly. I was wondering if you were going to use the profanity first. It's a good sign. Okay.
I've been using quite a few tonight. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm impressed. She's out and doing me. This is good. It's good. But Yes, if he would actually just concentrate a little more on that instead of being known for this. Like, how successful is he going to be for being known for this? Who's going to cheer on him? He actually dissed the alpha male. He dissed the incel. He's already dissed all the Sims, and he dissed every woman that he spoke about. So who's he got? What's he got? Like, where is he going to date now?
He can't, because the people he thinks are perfect are all airbrushed pictures that he finds on Google in the image search. Those are the only people he thinks he can get, and he won't because they don't exist because they're not real.
The only
as a point of interest, Dick, how many subs does this guy have?
Simps or subs? Oh dear God, 94,000.
Yeah, see, that's what's scary about it. That's pretty scary when the only date he's got in his future is with his vacuum cleaner. Like, that's really tells you something, don't it?
Sleet in the chat says he could date houseplants. They're real. Yeah, he could.
Oh, that's funny. Captain Dustbuster. Okay, should we let Butt Foam have one more round here?
Yes, please.
Dawson.
Jessica, do you want to bring
Sure.
it in?
Let's waste the greatness of my programming on an idiot.
Let's do that.
Knows. Yeah.
But most women know, especially those who are overweight, that men will still be attracted to them even if they are packing extra pounds. And they will be able to tell you that from experience. Now, if this reason is true, then it shows they have a sense of entitlement. It shows they're entitled to somebody more attractive than they are, despite bringing far less to the table and putting in little to no effort. And in fact, I've even seen this in my own personal experiences. I've literally heard overweight women say that they will never date an overweight man. That is entitlement at its simplest form. Finally, moving on to point number 8, coping. What I've noticed is nearly every woman, if you ask them the top 3 things that make them attractive, it will almost undoubtedly be a completely different list from another woman's. Just like the woman from the clip at the beginning. Her 3 reasons for why she is a perfect 10 was because she goes to school, goes to work, and has a good personality. But based on how pretentious she was being, I very much doubt there's much truth to this last one. This woman, if she believes that these 3 things alone make her a perfect 10, is almost certainly coping. Because here are the actual 3 things that men care about most. The holy trinity of what actually makes a perfect 10. First of all, hot. This means not overweight. 2, young, or in other words, under 30. And 3, undamaged. This means not promiscuous, and also no kids. This is what men...
No, he didn't.
Oh, yes, he did, Aimee. Oh my God, he did.
He said that. He said it.
He did.
What the hell is that?
And you know what? The real sad thing, he believed this.
But he needed to.
Yeah. Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Well.
Wow.
I agree. He was.
If you go back about 20 minutes in the stream, you'll hear my remark about panel vans in schools. I rest my fucking case.
Yeah, but can we reverse that and put him in the back of the van with the serial killer?
Yeah, well, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Make him wear the lotion.
Exactly. Yeah, because I don't want him to be the driver anymore because that's dangerous. That's just it right there. All right, so do you know how small that? All right, if that's what you're looking for, men, you just put yourself out of the market. Do you know how small that percentage is right there?
Mm-hmm. Very small.
Very small. And if you think you can compete and go for it, well, welcome to your happy, miserable fucking life. Good luck.
Exactly.
Good luck. If those are your standards, I hope your hand is nice and strong and you've got, you might as well invest in lotion and cleaner because this is it. This is it, dude. The world's a bigger place.
Exactly. And I have some statistics. You know how they say that 65% of all statistics are pulled out of your arse? Mm-hmm. Well, here's one for him. I think he's 5 times more likely to be hit by lightning than to find a hot, non-promiscuous girl who's not, quote unquote, damaged because they might
kids
have
under
a child.
30.
Exactly. 5 times more likely to be hit by lightning. So there we go.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get hit 4 out of those 5 times. Who knows? Knock some sense into him or something.
Hope springs eternal.
You know, I just want to thank the chat, especially Kyle, for right now for his statistics on, hotness and percentages here that are actually not accurate in what this man says. And I really appreciate it when other men state so, because it actually means more coming from you than it does me, because it's more up here, judging up here. And I can go against them all I want, being the ones he's insulting. And it's not going to mean as much as all of you sticking up to say, hey, that just ain't so. Because,
Right.
I'm over 30. I'm not a perfect teen. What am I supposed to? Am I supposed to be in a nunnery? Like, Aimee, what are we supposed to do? Like, wait, where are we supposed to go? Like, oh, God.
I know. Well, I didn't get that message then. Oops.
I know. Thank God.
You missed that meeting then, Aimee.
Yeah, I did. I missed that meeting that I was supposed to go into a nunnery.
I was just checking his about page on YouTube, and it turns out that little cocktail sausage he calls a prick that lives in his pants can actually sing. And every time he reaches for his zipper, this is what you hear.
Well, maybe he needs to put this whinging and angst into a song for himself, and he'll do that. Exactly.
Oh, no.
Same here. Yeah, maybe he can make an angsty song there, his ballads and stuff like that are just witch fests and shut the hell up. Oh my God.
Yeah. Here, we'll give him one more before we kick it in.
Shut up, Meg.
There.
Exactly. Well, he's
young
dead wrong.
and undamaged. Oh
exactly.
My God. Undamaged.
That's
undamaged. I didn't know if you had children,
not promiscuous.
We were damaged. We're damaged. Oh my gosh.
Well, you wait until they hear what they say about single parents.
I remember that
brilliant.
Last one. Yeah, they kind of
There's another side to this though too. God forbid you actually hook up with a woman that I don't know knows how to fuck. I mean, Jesus Christ!
Oh my God.
This is a life of disillusion. I don't know. This guy's setting himself up to just not be happy ever. I don't know.
Exactly. And Seraphim Hyde was right, especially female single parents. The comments that, just to even, you should just see my arms going in the air. It's funny. Going even into just certain servers, you'll talk to somebody, and if they find out, the misogynists and, in the flatter circles are incredible.
That's fear and intimidation speaking,
Exactly. Exactly. And you go in there and if they know that you're a single parent, look out. You are the scum of the earth. You are going to destroy and subvert society. You're the epitome of evil. It's just incredible what they say, and they say this all this crap too. You're damaged. You couldn't keep certain body parts closed, all of this stuff. Even if you tell them your story.
We were married. Like, wait a minute. Like, we're both married when we had our kids. And like,
exactly.
What?
Of course.
Excuse me. Excuse. Oh, God.
Well, that's what I said too. Well, yeah, and I get a lot. This is what I get a lot of. Well,
I tell you,
I bet you don't even know whose dad is. I get a lot of that.
That's intimidation and fear, because let me tell you,
yes,
ain't one of them, and show me where this server is, because ain't one of them want to have that conversation with me.
Exactly. They usually don't, because I usually tell them the truth. Well, they ask. Well, this is terrible, but sort of has some dark humor in it. So if I offend anybody, I apologize in advance. One of them asked me one time, "Well, where's the father?" And I said, "Well, he's in the newer part of Riverview Cemetery in Skowhegan. Did you want a picture of the stone?"
Yeah. And like,
well, what else am I supposed to say? That's the truth. That's where I am.
And how about that, opinionated asshole? Where you going with that one, huh?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, your turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck's
What do
sake.
you want?
Yeah.
I'm a
bother you if you can't.
52-year-old single father with a teenage son. So the only option this guy's left me is to literally try and fuck the babysitter. You sick prick. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
You go to, depending on the age of the babysitter, you got trouble too, Dick. So
No shit, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
yeah, see?
Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble, it's like,
Yep, I don't know. I don't.
And that's what Seraphim said was really good. Seraphim Hyde said, offer to do a seance.
I wonder how many of them spouting that bullshit are deadbeat dads. Yeah, I want to see a raise of hands. How many of you walked
Exactly.
away from your responsibilities and that you're putting everybody else down because you can't man up? Come
Not
have
me.
this
Or they're
Come
just
have this
massive trolls
conversation
that
with
just
me.
say that.
Come on. Like, come on.
Too many.
Yeah,
Yeah.
too many. Mhm.
Big chunk of them are trolls, is what
Yeah,
it is.
because-
That's all it is. So
Mhm.
their opinion is
Mhm.
worth what we flush down the toilet. So
Yeah, like when they say we weren't woman enough to keep them, but yet here we are doing both of your jobs for you. So tell me how I'm not. Tell me how I'm not when I'm doing both parts right now because you could. Tell me. Come on. Let me hear it. Really. But I wasn't
Exactly.
woman enough. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know.
The timing's perfect. If we bring in his last minute and 15 seconds here, his video's almost done. It'll be perfect time to give him the old gong and have some fun.
Absolutely.
I like
All
that
right.
gong. That's something
Yeah,
to look
listen.
forward to.
Oh, he's getting it. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
please, repeatedly.
Men actually want. And the funny thing is, what I've noticed is when women are young, when they list reasons of what makes them attractive, they're likely to say things such as, I'm pretty, fit, young, therefore this makes me an 8. Meanwhile, when you ask older women, or even worse, the exact same women but just 10 to 15 years older, they're likely to give you a different list of the things that make them attractive. Such as, I have a career, I have 2 gorgeous kids, and am financially stable. Therefore, I'm also an 8. This is also coping. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, these days, nearly every woman has their own list of cope reasons for why they're more attractive than everyone else, and they will change it where they see fit and based on their own strengths. But the truth is, men see very little value outside of the holy trinity of female attractiveness. All lists that deviate from these 3 things are coping. Anyway, guys, that's it for my 8.
I definitely need the men to weigh in on that one. Is that true? Would somebody like to tell me? Is that true? Please.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
For anybody who would like the link, you won't find it in our description. We will never publish it.
We want to forget his name.
Exactly.
It's unfortunate we can't though, because there's more than him. Like that's multiplying like crazy everywhere.
Exactly. Yep. There are.
I'm
Can we go
shocked.
to the fairground and play now? That's fucking awful.
Well, actually, we do have a sponsor message to shoot out tonight, so we should get it in right now. I want to bring everybody in. We do have a sponsor. Tonight's show is brought to you by Butt Foam, everybody's favorite topping for wheat waffles. When you wake up, do it right with Butt Foam. Now in 3 amazing new flavors: Total Loser, Angry Little Bastard, and Unwillingly Celibate. Butt Foam, the only way to have breakfast alone.
Arse biscuits and butt foam. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh god.
Oh my god.
No. Oh, god. I can't even breathe. Oh,
Clear. Steady now, Claire. Take a deep breath. You'll
I
be
know,
right.
Gary, help me. Oh god.
I know. All right, strategy. We gotta, oh my
God.
goodness.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
Oh, that was. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh
man.
Oh, dear. I have never come across such a massive bell end as that in my life.
I know.
Was there anything useful in there that you could take as advice on how to get a date? Anybody? Like
Nope.
Anybody in the chat? Like all you single, all of us singles around here. You know, is there anything?
Everything he said is a surefire way to end up alone.
All that, don't do that. Don't do any of that.
Absolutely not.
Be sure to not date anybody that's over 30 years old. And if she's got kids, avoid at all costs.
Because she's damaged.
She's damaged, yeah.
Yes.
And promiscuous, no doubt.
Yeah.
Holy
And you know,
crap.
and if you don't want to have kids, I can understand that. But to put that in the damage category, like just like
Wow.
like wow. Okay. Okay.
I know. My goodness.
I'm going to have nightmares tonight, I'll tell you that.
No, Mark Beiser has a brilliant comment. No mention of the double standard there. Nobody would think it odd if a woman married a man with a great career, money, and a couple of kids, and she took care of his house and kids.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, and because she's a little older and she had a much more mature understanding of what was attractive and stable for her, like what she had to offer, which was the truth. Like all she did was say what her life was like, and that she was confident in how it was and what she had to offer somebody. But that's something bad. Like I don't, because she's right. If it was a man who said that, he'd be over there with the alpha male stuff. You know, regardless of whether he had children or not, he'd be up there and, you know, making it tough for him because they have all that and he don't. You know.
Exactly. Exactly.
This guy needs the kind of help Mama failed to provide. Like, how was this guy raised?
In a barn. Seriously, in a barn.
You're actually running under the erroneous presumption that he was. Like, this is not grown. This is not grown. Like, I don't know where it stopped, but it stopped way back. Like,
the question is, was he raised?
Yeah.
Or spawned or whatever you call that. You know, it's like he just grew from the pile of poop on the front lawn or something.
Have you ever heard so much misogynistic shit in your life? Honestly.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And a funny farm is right, Randolph. You're right. But yeah, this also highlights a problem with the algorithm in YouTube, and I think that's something that YouTube. Are you listening? YouTube. That is a problem with their algorithm because this does get promoted in your feed if you search for this stuff, like when you're doing research for a show or if you're doing anything else. It's just pure insanity. It's just
it's right there.
Yeah, this is still the last thing that's okay.
And you know what? It's getting viewed from both sides. That's why, because all of us that are in shock that he's out, like there's the shock value of it, which a lot of it has to do with that. I wouldn't say that all of those subs agree with him. Matter of fact,
94,000 of them.
In order to go on with my life and actually sleep tonight, I have to believe that they don't all agree with him.
Yeah.
You know, that they are just, they just went because they want to see the ridiculousness he's up to and tearing apart or whatever like that. At least I hope so. Or because it's just, because people like the contrarian, they like the person on the edge, they want, something different, whatever. But I hope they really, whether they're watching it or not, that they are not conducting their life anywhere like that. Like, no life, no, like, no.
Exactly.
No. Because that's damaging.
Very damaging. Very damaging. Yeah, it's so bad.
Wrecker, if they do you want? Yes, that's exactly how you do it. You just ask, and New Zealand's too far away, dude. But thanks. Yeah, that's cool. But hey, DM me. We'll talk. That is how you do it. Respectful, like that, straight out, honest. Yeah.
Exactly.
What's wrong with that? See how that worked? Success. But yeah. Anyway.
Well, and this idiot is so funny. I do have to mention something from that last video we just watched about his damage and everything like that. Well, what a moron. I'm glad I didn't get the message because, I have a wonderful person in my life and they're my best friend and they're just incredible. And I didn't get the message. So sorry, honey. But
you're glad you missed that meeting, Aimee.
Yes, I am. I'm very glad I did because that's just, are people supposed to miss out on happiness because of these idiots? Because they think, once you're over 30, you're over the hill. You don't deserve anything. Oh, and if you have kids, that's another strike against you. You know, it's just.
If you had more than 3 or 4 sexual partners, then you're cast on the wayside. Bollocks. What a load of rubbish. What an idiot.
Exactly.
And 94,000 people subscribe to him. That is incredible.
That makes me sick. Yep.
Yeah.
So he gets all that nice, lovely perks of having his stuff.
Of course, and that just reinforces his views. He's got all of these people. He's going on about simps. He's got 94,000 of them.
Yeah,
massaging his ego.
Whoa!
What a wanker!
Hold on.
Yeah.
What a hypocritical wanker!
That video that we just watched has 500,000 views.
That's bad. That's bad. 94,000 subscribers to a MGTOW incel is a lot of hate. You're right. You're right, Randolph. Thank you. It's not good. I mean, this is the last thing that's acceptable to promote. That's not good.
No, because there's
against women.
There's not enough of us out there speaking against it because of and honestly, because of the judgment that comes with it when you do. And because it has to be done, it has to be done in just the right way. You don't want to be as disrespectful or unknowledgeable as they are. You just don't want to go for it because you think it's like butt foam.
You're just going to find yourself in a world of shit if you go up against them. The best thing is to keep quiet and
exactly.
Just let them get on with it.
No, really.
You can't. You can't beat stupid.
Yeah. Well, there's not enough contra to this, to this actually out there, because we all think that you shouldn't have to, because it's common sense that it's ridiculous. Like, we want to think, at least I did when I first saw it, who would believe that? Like, who would actually think that works? That's not the world I live in. That's not the men I know. That's not my brothers, that's not my uncles, that's
Dick,
not anybody.
Dick, can you show us any comments on that video? Perhaps.
I bet I can.
Might be a good thing before roundtables. See what they say. 94. Nick Guspe is right. 94,000 people watching the dumpster fire. Okay.
Wow.
I can just imagine.
4,600 people liked Amazing Insight, brother. Keep it up as a comment. Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Often a woman who is a legit 10 out of 10 will be somewhat embarrassed about it and won't refer to herself as a 10. Definitely not in the way this woman did. Apparently he's talking about one of the women in there. I am a 10. I go to work. I go to school. I have a great personality. Why do so many modern women think that being a basic functioning adult is some kind of feat?
oh, you know what? Oh my goodness. This gets worse.
It'll get far worse than that. Yeah.
It's getting worse. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was just mild. That was just nothing that we just read right now. These people get.
I don't. Where do these people live that people are always rating themselves on a scale to 1 to 10? I haven't heard this since, I don't know, 1982, like when I was 11.
Right. Yeah, this is just ridiculous. And it's dehumanizing. I mean, and that's what they're doing. It's like you're looking that and dating
it's
apps.
Objectifying.
It is objectifying. It really is. It's dehumanizing. I mean, if you look at dating apps, they look like you're going online. It's how you can online and get your groceries delivered to you. That's what it's like. It's like you're looking in the meat section of your grocery and seeing all the and being able to select. Oh, well, I think we'll have that this week. We'll have this flavor.
Selecting the most appealing one.
It's gross. Yes, it's so gross, and it's so dehumanizing and objectifying. It's really disgusting. It's reducing people from being a living, breathing human being who has thoughts and feelings into something that's just an inanimate object that's just that you can abuse at will is just disgusting, and it makes me sick. Yeah, it's just really, really gross.
There's been a couple of comments about the movie 10, and I was gonna say, you know, I haven't heard somebody. Yeah, I haven't heard somebody use this rating scale since Dudley Moore was still somebody who people gave a shit about as an actor, you know?
Right. Wow. That was a long time ago.
Totally.
1980.
Yeah.
You know, our age,
thanks for the reminder. Thanks.
No worries. You're welcome.
Mostly men answering on here too.
Well, you know, we're coming up on time. Should you do your thing there, Aimee?
Yes, please. We'll go ahead and get right around the room and see what everybody thought of this. Deep breaths. Yes.
Are you sure?
Breaths. Zen, like Matt used to say. When I tell him, he had the right idea. Yeah. All right. First stop, I'm going to start off with Gary, Isle of Wight. Gary, what are your thoughts on this evening?
Well, it's been a good laugh, laughing at that idiot, but I've never in my entire life come across such misogynistic shice in my life. Honestly, awful. Just awful. If anybody needs to fucking put up against the wall, it's somebody like him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That is just, definitely. And it looks like we got a super chat if my computer would stop freezing. Let's see. Sorry about that, everyone. But you're right. It is. Thank you so much. We did get a super chat from Nick Guspe for $3 American, and it's a pair with his thumb up. Thank you so much, Nick.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for your support.
Thanks, Nick.
Yes, thank you. And to continue the round tables, we are going on to Claire S. Bear, my partner in crime.
still a
what
criminal.
Are your thoughts? Yes, exactly. We are, aren't we?
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on this evening?
Well, I'm sitting here with murderous thoughts at the moment of that man. You know, I will say it does irk me a bit that is actually considered rational thinking, or actually that he actually thinks he's really saying something there. Or misinformation really torques me. I'm a bit allergic, and he gave me hives. I'm just
absolutely.
You don't know how to address it. I don't know about you, Aimee. Like, how do you address it? Like, how
exactly?
Without doing exactly what he's doing, being so insulting and demeaning, and
well, that's it. You know,
I'd like to offer him the information, but I doubt very much he could take it in. So
they won't. That's the sad part. We have to enlist the help of men who actually get it to be able to do that.
Exactly. So I would just thank my mother for raising good brothers, stand-up men who I learned from, who taught me how to protect myself and be strong in the womanhood, and that it was respectful enough. And to all my partners and to all my friends that actually have the balls to speak up about this, thank you. Because that was some shite, like Carrie said. That was nothing but shite, and it needs to be talked against by everyone.
Absolutely.
You know, not just the women he's speaking to.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And next up, we have Dick Dawson. Dick, what are your thoughts on this evening?
Well, I think I'm going to let a special guest celebrity send a personal message out to Butt Foam.
Your intellect is as weak as your dollar. Failure is your destiny. You disrespect yourself and your nation. You are made of stupid.
But seriously, I do hope we get to a point where the educational system, average throughout the world, gets everybody to the point where you don't see comments in this guy's fucking comment section that say, "Oh, great video, bro," and stuff. What you see is, "Wow, what a cry for help. I sure hope you get the support you need," and shit like that, because that's all there should be.
Absolutely. That
and
is
the only support that guy needs is the goddamn noose around his neck.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh gosh. Well, and that's the issue, and that's my thought for this evening too, is how much misinformation this guy is pushing out. And it's really bad because the people that watch that do agree with him, he's just working on their confirmation bias at what they already believe. But it's worse because since they already sort of agree with him, the more stuff that he puts out that's negative about women, these people that watch him seriously are the ones who are going to suffer, because, and well, the women too that they meet, because they're going to believe this. They're going to believe that all women are like this. They're going to, because they're not strong enough intellectually to look into it and say, well, no, maybe this guy is not right. Everybody's an individual and everyone is different. He's not going to see that. They're not going to see that. And that scares me and that worries me. And, I worry about society when there are so many people like this.
The numbers speak for themselves, Aimee. 94,000 subscribers, 500,000 views. There are people out there that actively go looking for this stuff. That's worrying.
And the really worrying part is he's just one of many pushing this information, which I think we're going to have to do another show on pretty soon.
Yeah,
because
what?
The point. It's so much and it affects so many things.
How about on the angle of, just on the norm instead of all this extremist that he's talking about, like, how to function as the norm? Because if they're actually out there looking for something and how to get along with women and everything like that, isn't there more actual, instead of a guy telling you how to do it, why don't you listen to what women are actually telling you might work?
Yes.
Why aren't they going out to clubs and functions and rather than looking at YouTube videos?
Yeah.
Right. And not just clubs, go out into your community. My God, just go out and do stuff. Be more positive within yourself, have a positive attitude. Because if you go out with a chip on your shoulder, no one is going to approach you because they're going to sense that.
It reinforces their what they think. They can look at these YouTube videos and it reinforces their bias.
Absolutely, it does.
They don't have the kahunas to go out and meet people, go to clubs, go to functions, go to sports events, go to pubs, whatever. They'll look on the internet, some bullshit video on YouTube, and it reinforces their bias. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Is it so bad to be friend zones? I mean, you're actually getting around the friends. Girls, women have a lot of friends that are also women. It kind of increases your pool. Like, you're looking at it the wrong way, because if I can be a friend with you first, that means I actually want to talk to you. Like, you're actually right within the 3 feet. You have actually invaded my 3 feet space that I have around me. Like, and so have my friends. And that's the start to everything. And
well, it is, and at least if you're able to get to know the person better in that situation. As such, that is the best way to go.
Because if you're actually looking for a relationship, I mean, and maybe they're not, and maybe it's the other way. There's plenty of women. It's 2022, and I hate to remind you, but there's plenty that they don't want to friend zone you if they are looking at you the other way, that they want to do more right away. You may never see them again after the next day. That might be their choice this time.
And relationships just happen. You don't need to go looking for relationships. They happen.
Right. And sometimes
and they won't happen if you sit in your fucking bedroom or basement watching YouTube.
Whining about it.
You have to be out there. You have to be
a positive attitude.
And you need to be open for it, or it's never going to happen. You're not going to see it. You're not going to recognize. Do you know how many times I hear from girlfriends of mine that they are actually attracted to somebody who is in a friend zone with them, and then I have to hear from the guy how he's attracted to her and everything, but she won't give him the time of day. And here they are, they're going all over the place. They're having coffee together, they're having dinner together and everything, and neither one thinks the other one likes the other.
Dancing around each other,
because they're just being nice and having conversations. And I'm like, you damn idiot! Like, what? Like, neither one of you is paying attention to crap. Like, I just can't.
I know.
Yeah, right?
I know. It's just so funny. But yeah. But yes, so I want to thank everyone in the chat for coming. Thank you so much, especially you all in the chat. You've been amazing. You've had great conversations with us. Thank you so much. We do all of this for you. I want to thank everyone in the panel for coming as well. Thank you so much. We always have a good conversation around these things and these topics. And I hope to bring you more in the future. So please stay tuned to this space. We'll have more interesting topics to cover. I think we're going to have fun on this show. I think we really are. So.
Hey, if the last couple of weeks has been any indication, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So thank you so much, everyone. I wish you all a great evening. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Remember, butt foam for those on the lonely road.
It's over. Go home.